Hello YouTube family. I have a little bit of time before I'm going to teach my yoga class. So I thought I'd just check in and give you a little update on how I'm doing and what's coming up. Quick recap for those of you seeing this one for the first time. I had stage 1 breast cancer in very end of 2018, was diagnosed, got a lumpectomy, had radiation, and went on tamoxifen, the premenopausal endocrine therapy. Now I'm forgetting all the terms of everything. Basically a hormone blocker. Hormone blocker. Then I kind of tapered off taking tamoxifen because I had such a low oncotype score of a 6, and chemo was never recommended, and they said I had like a 96 or 7 or something, very high percent chance that I would not see the cancer back. It was early stage 1 centimeter tumor taken out, good margins around the tumor, nothing in my lymph nodes. Fast forward to when I stopped tamoxifen, I got COVID around the same time, and then a cough that wouldn't go away. Got better, got sick again after going to Disneyland and picking something else up for my son, and then had another lingering cough that wouldn't go away. Went in to a walk-in clinic. They did a chest x-ray and saw large pleural effusion. Just means your lungs are filled with fluid. So they assumed that it was pneumonia, put me on antibiotics, didn't work because it was not pneumonia, got a thoracentesis, drained the lungs, they tested it, and it was a match for my initial breast cancer. So my breast cancer is ERPR positive, HER2 negative, and it still is that way. But anyway, so found out it was back. It was in my chest wall, the lining of your lungs, and it's called your pleura space, and that's where my metastasis is or are. Anyway, went on Kisqali, that one's endocrine therapy, and a Lupron shot to suppress my ovaries, so they put me into menopause immediately. Went on anastrozole, which is kind of like the postmenopausal version of the hormone therapy that tamoxifen is for premenopausal women. So went on that, had like 4 PET scans that were 3 or 4, I think, that were clear, like no evidence of disease. The medication was totally kicking ass, got rid of any of the little nodules that were in the chest wall, got rid of my kept the pleural effusion from coming back because everything was fine. And then even went so far that my onco moved the PET scans and appointments to every 6 months instead of every 3 months. Still going in for the monthly injection though of Lupron, and yeah, taking those 2 medications. Kisqali was 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Gosh, that already feels like a long time ago. And I tolerated it well. Well, my white blood cell count would go so low that I had to go down from 3 pills to 2 pills to 1. So I was only taking 200 milligrams of 1 pill, where most women take 2 or 3. Then, so 6 months went by, I got the PET scan, feeling pretty good, like thinking, I was gonna have many years on Kisqali, but the nodules were back, pleural effusion was back. It was small pleural effusion, but there was evidence of disease at this point, so they stop you from taking that medication and move you on to your next line. So I got the thoracentesis and a biopsy to see if they could pull anything out from the little nodules to see if anything had changed with my breast cancer, like the markings. Sometimes like the HER2 negative might go to low or positive, and you generally will have mutations with the cancer cells that made it possible for the endocrine therapy to stop working. So I got the results of that kind of a while after. So I was put on exemestane and Afinitor, 2 new drugs, which would have been my second line. Had some, some side effects. Always in the beginning, your body's adjusting, so there's like minor, or maybe for some people major, but for me, pretty minor things. Like, had some stomach aches. My taste buds changed, so nothing tasted good, which sucked. Yeah, lost a little bit of weight, but I was adjusting and it was okay. But then we got my biopsy results back, and it said that I had these mutations that are pretty common for when you fail the first line of endocrine therapy, which are called ESR1 and PIK3CA, PIK3CA. So instead of staying on that line, my oncologist decided to pull me from that one. Also, I don't think it was really working because I had a cough and still kind of felt like there was fluid in my lungs, and got an x-ray, and there was. So we were trying to give it some time, but I don't think it was truly working. And because of the mutations, we moved to a third line, which is still, I think, technically the second line, since I was barely on that second line just for maybe less than 2 months. So now I take, all the names. I take TrueCap, and that one is 4 days on, 2 pills twice a day, morning and night. I take it at 9 a.m., 9 p.m., and then 3 days off. So I've been adjusting to that. I'm on my 3rd cycle. I'm on my 2nd day off of the 3rd cycle, and I kind of get more side effects on the day off than the days on, which I didn't think was going to be the case. I have a little bit of fatigue today, and a little bit of a headache. By the 4th day of the medications, I'll have a little bit of a stomach ache. Sometimes on the first day, an hour or so after I take the first day, I'll have a little bit of nausea. But really, if the drug's working, it's very manageable. I can tolerate the side effects. They don't really interrupt my life. I'm still teaching everything. And I've been feeling better. Like, my lungs feel clear. I am not coughing anymore. I did like a Peloton ride on Saturday and some heavy kettlebell work. And although I did feel nauseous after, because I hadn't pushed myself that hard in a few months while I've been going through all this, I'm still exercising, but I hadn't done like a hardcore workout. But yeah, so I am feeling good. I do think it's working, fingers crossed. I also did push my PET scan from July to August, just because I want to give the drugs a chance to work. There's no point in finding out the news until I've kind of given the drugs an opportunity to take effect. I didn't want to get the results too early and just do a wasted PET scan. So I'm going to get my next PET scan in August. My last one was in March, where there was evidence of some stuff all in the chest wall. Luckily, it hasn't moved out of the chest wall, so it's still in that one place. It's called stage 4 when it metastasized somewhere other than the original spot. So I used to think stage 4 meant it was like in 4 places, like liver, brain, lungs, but that's not the case. It's just metastatic is when it's somewhere else, and it's just considered stage 4. So I do have a couple of exciting things coming up. On Wednesday, in 2 days, I go to UCSF for a second opinion, and just to kind of meet the team over there to make sure I'm on the right track, and to maybe get on some kind of list for upcoming trials, which is exciting. And then Thursday, I go in to get my second fulvestrant, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the injections that go along with TrueCap. So I got my first ones 2 weeks ago, and in the beginning you're kind of like loading, and so you do 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and then it goes to a monthly shot, which I'll get along with the Lupron that I still do. So this injection is very different than Lupron. Lupron's like a very small amount. They put it in. It's like a regular shot. This one is a very big amount. I can't remember the numbers. Like 750 milligrams, milliliters, something's coming to my head, but I could be making that up. But this one is in both sides, and it's a lot, and they warm it up for you so it goes in smoother and it's less painful, and they take time to inject because it's so much. So I had to wait 30 minutes for them to like warm up the medicine, I don't know what it's called, the liquid, and then they took about a minute on each side. So I just asked if I could like listen to music. I put my AirPods in and tried to just think about other things. And yeah, I mean, it's not painful. It was like a little bit uncomfortable. It definitely doesn't feel good. It's not as easy as the Lupron is. But, and then after I felt funny, like it was awkward to sit into my car and like try to sit. But overall I tolerated it pretty well. I mean, I'm not looking forward to doing it again, but it wasn't too bad, and I wasn't too sore or anything. I taught HIIT class the next morning. So, yeah, not too bad. I guess if this stuff works, you know, it's all tolerable for me. It's not ideal, but if it keeps the cancer away, I'm down. So I'll find out in August. I'll update you again after meeting with a different oncologist at UCSF in San Francisco. And I think that's everything. Yeah, I think I'm doing pretty well. My lungs feel clear. I'm not coughing. So I think the medicine's working, but we will find out for sure in August. And I'm just gonna hope that I get years, more than the 15 months I was on Kisqali. I really, you know, obviously want to get like a good run on these so I don't have to just change and have to go through this again. Because every time you get that the cancer's active, it almost feels like a new diagnosis, and it's just, it really sucks. But I'm not going to complain too much because I still feel great. I'm still living life completely normally, exercising, teaching fitness classes, yoga, Pilates, generally feeling healthy and well. So I will talk to you soon. I'll give you some more updates. Thanks for being here. Bye.